My fellow Americans, tonight I want to speak clearly about a hard truth. Our country is not just divided, it is being trained to distrust itself. Distrust our elections, distrust our courts, distrust our neighbors, distrust the idea that facts exist. And when distrust becomes a habit, a different kind of politics takes over, one that doesn't try to persuade, it tries to dominate. I'm speaking tonight about the politics most commonly associated with Donald Trump and the MAGA movement, not because Americans who voted for them are bad, but because a government must be judged by what it does, what it defends, what it attacks, and what it normalizes. We have seen an approach that treats law as optional, something to use when convenient and bypass when not. We have seen orders and actions that push beyond constitutional limits and then dare the courts to stop them. And the courts have stopped some of it. A federal judge blocked major parts of an election's executive order that attempted to dictate vote-by-mail rules and proof of citizenship requirements by presidential decree, emphasizing elections are set by Congress and states. We're watching legal challenges to sweeping tariff actions, questions that go to the heart of whether any president can claim emergency powers to rewrite the economy alone. We've also seen courts move to block attempts to abruptly end lawful parole programs for certain migrants without required legal process. This pattern matters because it is not just politics. It is a theory of power, that if you can't win through the rules, you pressure the rules. If you can't pass it through Congress, you try to do it by decree. If the courts disagree, you attack the courts. That is not strength. That is instability. And stability is what working families need most. So tonight I'm laying out a different course, one that defeats lawlessness with law, defeats chaos with competence, and defeats extremism by giving Americans a government that finally works.
What we will do now. We will restore the guardrails, because the presidency is not a throne. On day one, I will sign an executive order that bars the White House from interfering in individual criminal cases, with stronger transparency and documentation requirements for contacts between the White House and DOJ. Strengthens inspectors general independence, so watchdogs can't be fired or sidelined for doing their job, and requires public reporting for major emergency power actions, so emergency can't become a blank check. And I will ask Congress, Republicans and Democrats, to codify those guardrails into law. Because if you only like limits on power when the other side holds it, you don't like limits, you like control. We will defend elections by improving them, not by intimidating them. We will protect the right to vote and the integrity of the process at the same time. That means paper ballots and routine audits nationwide, clear, fair voter ID standards paired with free, easy access to IDs, tough penalties for election threats and intimidation, and federal support for secure election infrastructure without the president trying to seize authority the Constitution doesn't give. If you want confidence, you build systems people can verify. You don't spread fear you can't prove. We will replace performative toughness with real border and immigration policy. America has the right to control its borders. America also has a duty to follow its own laws. So we will expand immigration courts and asylum processing so cases move fast and fairly, target smugglers and traffickers with resources and international coordination, secure the border with technology and staffing, not stunts, and end the whiplash of legally shaky programs and sudden mass reversals that courts keep having to halt. A serious country can be both orderly and humane. We will rebuild affordability and stop governing like the economy is a TV argument. The MAGA brand of governance often promises quick wins through blunt force, sweeping tariffs, threats, retaliation, policies sold as strength but paid for by families through higher prices and instability. We will do the opposite, lower costs by increasing housing supply and fighting price manipulation. Invest in domestic manufacturing with clear rules and predictable trade policy. Build resilience in supply chains and use targeted lawful trade enforcement, not emergency workarounds that end up in court and create uncertainty. We will protect freedom by protecting rights. across the board. Freedom means you can speak your mind without fear. It also means government can't punish you for who you are, what you believe, or how you worship. So we will defend free speech and religious liberty, equal protection under the law, and the principle that government serves citizens, not the other way around.
What I will say to MAGA America directly: if you voted for Donald Trump because you felt ignored, because your town lost jobs, because your bills climbed, because elites mocked you, I hear you. But hear me back. A movement that asks you to distrust every referee will eventually ask you to accept only one player. You don't have to surrender your values to reject lawlessness. You don't have to hate your neighbor to love your country. You can want safer streets, a stronger border, and a better economy without excusing attacks on democratic rules. This is my promise. I will fight for your paycheck and your dignity, but I will not flatter your anger. I will not sell you a fantasy that one man can fix everything if we just let him break whatever gets in his way. Because if the rules can be bent for our side, they will be bent against you the moment you become inconvenient. The closing truth: this isn't a war between Americans. It's a choice between two futures. One where politics is vengeance and power is personal, and one where politics is service and power is accountable. We will choose accountability. We will choose competence. We will choose the rule of law. Not because it's polite, because it's the only thing that keeps a diverse nation free. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.